Oh man, we had him. We absolutely had him. Hey guys, welcome into another edition of the Dabbling Angler. Today we're going to have a real quick video on lipless crankbaits. I had mentioned them in my summer wrap-up and leading into fall that's something that I was going to try. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link in the description, but I wanted to kind of touch base with you on it a little bit. You know, for those of you that don't know, this is a lipless crankbait. You know, it's got a couple of different versions here. You know, one thing in common, they tend to have, you know, something in there that makes a little bit of noise. Sounds are a little bit different. This one's a little duller. I've had this one in my tackle box for 20 plus years. And really, I mean, I can count on one hand until this fall the number of times that I've fished it. I've probably fished it as many times this fall as I've had since I've owned it. I was always a little intimidated by the bait, wasn't really sure how to fish it, what to do. You know, was afraid that I was going to get hung up, and actually after doing a little bit of research and watching some videos, that's actually kind of what you want to have happen. You do want to get yourself fishing through that grass, fishing through the reeds and the weeds. You know, not the slimy grass that you may have in some of your fisheries and some of the places that you fish, but the reed type of grass, or weeds that that kind of stand up a little bit more, that you can kind of fish through. You know, the goal that you're really looking for with this is you want to create a reaction. You want to stand out from the other fish that they may be, the bait fish that they might be feeding on. And certainly, fishing through those weeds, and when you get hung up, pulling that bait out, it's going to make some sort of a turn when it comes out of there, and that's what's going to create that reaction. So I've got two clips I want to show you. The first one is where I've missed a fish, and you'll see on the video kind of where I get hung up in the grass, and you may notice, and we'll talk about it when we come back. We'll talk about what my problem was. So I hope you guys take a minute here, just have a sip of bourbon and watch what I've got coming up. There we go, guys. Oh shit! There we go, guys. Oh shit! Oh man, we had him. We absolutely had him. All right, so there's a lot of grass in through here, and I got that bite right after I pulled out of that grass. So that tells me that what I've seen, some of these videos I've watched on lipless crank, they're dead on accurate. Another thing, I was burning this in, because I didn't think I had a chance at anything. After I hit that grass, I started burning this guy in, and that's when it got hit. So maybe speeding up may help today. All right, guys, so you saw what I did there, and I hope you sense my frustration. Sorry for the language. I'm sure you've probably heard worse. I know I've said worse. But, anyway, you saw there that I got hung up in the grass, and I pulled through like I was supposed to, and that bait took a turn. Well, what I thought happened was I got hung up again, and I thought I was pulling through grass again, and then part of the way of pulling through there, I realized that grass doesn't swim. So I tried to set the hook, and I was a little late, and you saw the fish jump, and I lost it. So you got to be kind of aware that when you're pulling through the grass, it is almost like setting that hook. You're trying to, you can't see what's going on in there typically. So I made some adjustments. you know, I continue to fish that weed line because I knew that there had to be fish in there. I mean, that first fish bit, and it was a decent sized fish. So I wanted to go back through there and see, you know, if I could find anything. And the second time through, you know, that's when, you know, I'm pulling through the grass, that's when I ended up getting bit. And, you know, you'll see that I ended up landing something. So let's take a look at this clip, because there's something that I noted that you may or may not notice on the clip that I want to go over with you. So take a moment and check out this next clip. This guy, he's going to catch us a fish. I'm not sure if it's going to be today, but certainly, I mean, it's going to force a reaction at some point. And we're probably fishing in 2 to 3 feet of water here, maybe. All right, one last cast with this guy. There we go. Little guy. Little guy. We got one. You know what? I think I've had him multiple times. Look at his lip. Do not stick me, buddy. Oh man, he is hooked good. All right. Let's get the pliers out. He is on, check this out, guys. He is on all 3 hooks. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can. Hopefully I've got a good shot of that. Okay, guys, so I had some success that time, right? You know, I got through the weeds. I felt that fish on, set the hook, everything was good. But if you noticed, I think I got pretty lucky. So you notice that hook, that fish was hooked with all 3 of these rear treble hooks. These are the smaller hooks of the sets, right? And I gotta imagine by the way that was hooked that fish bit the back end of this bait, right? So he bit the back end of it. I went to set the hook. I pulled it out, and he bit down at the same time, and that's how I hooked him, all 3. Now that's great, you know, I had all 3 hooks set, but I was that close to missing him. You'll notice that on the bottom end of all 3 of these baits, they've got the mouth painted red. Well, there's also a theory that these front hooks should also be painted red. That way, when that fish goes to bite, it has a bigger target, and you've got a chance of getting all 6 of those hooks in its mouth. You got 6 chances of hooking up. And really, you know, if you get 2 of them, you're going to land that fish. So that's one thing that, you know, one tip that, you know, I think I'm probably going to do is I'm going to go out and try to replace these hooks with red, you know, to give it something else to shoot for. But, you know, also too, you know, you want to make sure that you have the right type of hooks. Now, those EWG hooks on there are probably the right type. Maybe a little bigger, you know, upsizing those hooks may work out, you know, to my advantage as well. But really, I think the thing I'm gonna try is gonna be those red hooks. So that's all I've got for you on the Lipless Crankbait today. You know, again, don't be afraid of it. It's certainly something that I think is gonna work well for you this fall. It's doing exactly what you want it to do. It's creating a reaction, and you want to stand out from those other bait fish that the fish you're fishing for are feeding on. So if you can, you know, leave me a comment on this. Tell me what you think about what you saw. You know, if you've changed your hooks out to red hooks, let me know. Let me know if it works. If you have any other ideas, you know, certainly I'd love to see them in the comments. But if you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe, that would be great as well. Hopefully you found this beneficial for you. Hopefully, you know, you're going to use this information, and you know, who knows, maybe you get a personal best out of this. So, you know, at the end of the day, again, you know, I really appreciate your guys' support. Thanks for watching. I will leave a link to the other video that I had mentioned in the comment section. You know, take a look at that one as well. But in the meantime, again, I appreciate your support and look forward to the next time. Have a great one.